Ever wondered what really goes on behind the smiles and perfectly curated Instagram feeds of motherhood? You're about to find out. Get ready to have your world rocked. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we're diving deep into something incredibly personal and, frankly, a little terrifying. I'm talking about motherhood. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, great, another mommy vlogger talking about diaper changes and sleepless nights. The sleep deprivation was brutal, a relentless assault on her sanity. Every mother she encountered seemed to be effortlessly juggling strollers, lattes, and witty conversations, while Willow struggled to make it out of the house in clean clothes. She started to compare herself to these seemingly perfect mothers, fueling her feelings of inadequacy. She learned that it was okay to ask for help, that it was okay to prioritize her own needs, and that it was okay to not be perfect. But she learned to cope with these feelings in a healthy way. She learned to practice self-compassion, reminding herself that she was doing the best she could. She learned to set boundaries, protecting her time and energy. She learned to ask for help when she needed it, relying on her support network and her husband. Slowly but surely, Willow began to find her footing in motherhood. She started to embrace the messiness, the imperfections, and the unexpected moments of joy. She realized that motherhood wasn't about being perfect, but about being present, loving, and authentic. She learned to let go of the pressure to be a good mother, and instead focused on being a good enough mother, one who loved her child unconditionally and prioritized her own well-being. She started to challenge the societal expectations of motherhood, questioning the unrealistic standards she had set for herself. She realized that motherhood wasn't about self-sacrifice and endless devotion, but about balance, self-care, and authentic connection. She started to carve out time for herself, even if it was just for a few minutes each day. She went for walks, read books, and reconnected with her hobbies. She started to prioritize her own well, knowing that she couldn't be a good mother if she wasn't taking care of herself. She also started to communicate more openly with Mark, sharing her feelings and asking for his support. They began to work together as a team, sharing the responsibilities of parenthood and supporting each other through the challenges. She scrolled through social media, bombarded by images of smiling babies, spotless homes, and mothers who looked like they'd just stepped out of a magazine. The pressure to keep up was immense, and she felt like she was constantly falling short. The isolation was suffocating. Her husband, Mark, was supportive, but he couldn't fully comprehend the emotional toll motherhood was taking on her. He tried to help with the baby, but Willow often felt like she had to micromanage everything. She wanted him to understand, to anticipate her needs, but she struggled to articulate the complex emotions swirling inside her. She felt like she was losing herself, that her identity was being swallowed whole by motherhood. The woman she once knew, the woman with dreams and ambitions, seemed to be fading away, replaced by a tired, resentful version she barely recognized. She'd spend hours rocking Leo, only to have him wake up the moment she put him down. She was hesitant to go at first, afraid of judgment and exposure, but she knew she needed help. Walking into that room was one of the hardest things she'd ever done. She sat in the back, listening to other women share their struggles, their fears, and their frustrations. As she listened, she realized she wasn't alone. These women understood what she was going through. They had experienced the same sleepless nights, the same feelings of inadequacy, the same overwhelming sense of responsibility. They shared stories of postpartum depression, anxiety, and the constant pressure to be perfect. For the first time in months, Willow felt seen and heard. She finally felt like she could breathe. She began to open up, hesitantly at first, sharing her own experiences and struggles. The relief she felt was immense. She realized that she wasn't a failure, that her feelings were normal, and that there was a community of women who understood and supported her. Her body ached, her hormones raged, and she felt like a milk machine, constantly on demand. The societal pressure to breastfeed was immense, and when she struggled, she felt like a failure. She remembered one particularly harrowing night when Leo had been crying for hours, inconsolable. Willow, exhausted and overwhelmed, found herself screaming into a pillow, tears streaming down her face. She felt a surge of anger, a dark, unfamiliar emotion that she couldn't reconcile with the image of the doting mother she was supposed to be. The guilt that followed was crushing. She felt ashamed, inadequate, and utterly alone. She started to withdraw from her friends, too embarrassed to admit that she wasn't enjoying every second of motherhood. She felt like she was failing at the most important job in the world, and that no one understood what she was going through. The carefully constructed facade of her perfect life began to crumble, revealing the raw, vulnerable truth beneath. But trust me, This is different. This is about the raw, unfiltered truth. The stuff they don't tell you in the parenting books. The stuff that gets glossed over in baby showers. The stuff that makes you question everything you thought you knew about yourself. I'm going to share Willow's story. Willow, on the surface, had it all. A loving husband, a beautiful home in the heart of the city, and a picture-perfect pregnancy. Everyone told her she was glowing, that she was born to be a mother. And Willow, with her naturally caring and nurturing nature, believed them. She envisioned a life filled with cuddles, playtime, and endless love. She pictured herself effortlessly balancing motherhood with her career, her friendships, and her own personal pursuits. Little did she know, the reality would be far more complex, far more challenging, and, at times, far more isolating than she could ever have imagined. This is Willow's story, a story of love, loss, anger, and ultimately, resilience. Willow's first inkling that things weren't as idyllic as she'd imagined came shortly after baby Leo's arrival. The city, once a vibrant backdrop to her social life, now felt like a cage. One day, overwhelmed and on the verge of a complete breakdown, Willow stumbled upon a support group for new mothers. The support group became Willow's lifeline. She attended every meeting, sharing her experiences and listening to others. Willow's journey wasn't easy. There were still days when she felt overwhelmed, exhausted, and frustrated. As Leo grew older, Willow found herself becoming an advocate for honest and open conversations about motherhood. She started sharing her experiences online, challenging the unrealistic portrayals of motherhood on social media and in the media. She wanted other mothers to know that they weren't alone, that their feelings were valid, and that it was okay to struggle. She created a community of support for mothers, a safe space where they could share their experiences, ask for advice, and find encouragement. She organized workshops and events, bringing mothers together to connect, learn, and support each other. She became a voice for the often silenced struggles of motherhood, challenging the societal expectations and advocating for better support for new mothers. Willow's journey from a naive, overwhelmed new mother to a confident, empowered advocate was nothing short of inspiring. She transformed her own struggles into a source of strength, using her experiences to help other mothers navigate the challenges of motherhood. A story that reminds us that motherhood isn't always picture perfect, but it is always worth it. It's a journey of self-discovery, of growth, and of unconditional love. It's about embracing the messiness, celebrating the small victories, and supporting each other along the way. It's about finding strength in chaos and beauty in imperfection. It is a story that needs to be told. She showed that it was possible to find joy and fulfillment in motherhood, even amidst the chaos and the challenges. Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. And if you found this video helpful or inspiring, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel for more honest conversations about motherhood and beyond. Remember, you're not alone. You're doing a great job, and you've got this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. She proved that motherhood wasn't about perfection, but about resilience, self-compassion, and authentic connection. She became a symbol of hope for mothers everywhere, a reminder that they weren't alone, that their feelings were valid, and that they were capable of anything. And that, my friends, is Willow's story, a story of raw honesty, vulnerability, and ultimately, incredible strength. So, what do you think? Did Willow's story resonate with you? Have you experienced similar challenges in your own motherhood journey?